Hello, fellow sea friends. Welcome to your evening's entertainment. Grab your favorite plush fish, sit back, relax, and get ready for tonight's host. That's Groovy Cat, Mr. Salem. Woo!
Good golly, Miss Molly, that's not where tentacles go. No wonder Kuro likes Monster Manga so much. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Sleeptainment. We are here for the fourth Give Yourself Goosebumps book, finally. The Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek. We got through the last one, which was Trapped in Batwing Hall, in 2 sessions. We struck out with our 3 lives from the first one, and I think we got it in the second life on our second attempt session, I think. So it's same as always. We have 3 lives each session. Hopefully we get it through in the first session now. If not, I'll have to figure out another day to come back because it's been very difficult to get this happening, which is why it's happening now and not earlier today, which was when I originally came in here to get everything sorted, but that didn't happen because the laptop had to do all of its updates, and that took a very long time. But it's all done and working, and the day has run away from me, but we're still here. So, I mean, we're here now. I suppose we're still here, but we're here now, so that's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to do. Now, let me flip eventually, I'll have a chat thing somewhere over there, and it'll be much larger. But for the meantime, it is on the very tiny thing over here. Congratulations, Big White Bear, on coming first. I hope that you're well and wonderful this evening. Woo, woo, wee, do, 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 woo, woo, and congratulations, Pongy, on coming second. I hope that you're well and wonderful this... It's not afternoon yet for you, so it's still morning this morning. I hope that you're going... Yes, well, wonderful. Hi first. Hi, Salem. And Pongy's off already, doing his tomato sauce. Very good, very good. I hope he is making the good tomato sauce. Excuse me. Hi Salem, hi Pongy, and hi BWB, and good evening, Kuro. I hope that you're well and wonderful this evening. So yes, as I said, we are up to the 4th book. Now, I was looking at my stack of them, and in consecutive order, I have up to number 11. So we've got plenty to go before we end up starting to skip some, because I don't have 12, I don't believe, and then I've got like 13, 14, and I'm missing it, but I've got solid from 1 to 11, at least in the stack where they all are, unless it's been mixed around. But I know I don't have all of them. I've never had all of them, but we've still got a few to go where I do definitely have the ones after them. So yes, and I believe it's number 11 is still a part of the original look, which is where it's got the holographic prints on all of the covers. There was like a lava one. Now we're into a geometric-y, sparkly, fractured ice one. But I think it's when it gets into the 20s, when it goes into the new layout style that they went with, which was like a black and green or something like that. And it didn't change as drastically as the original ones did. Which is unfortunate, because these ones were nice. I mean, that sort of matched with the spookiness. These ones, the background stuff doesn't really match with the spookiness, but yes. Yes. He's out to take over your life. Top secret and dangerous, that's what your mum, a famous scientist, calls the research she's been doing at the labs of Dr. Eek. You're dying to know what it's all about. Then one day you get lost in the labs. Before you know it, you've become a human guinea pig in Dr. Eek's deadly experiments. If you choose one lab, you meet a dog wearing sneakers. He's half dog, half kid. And now he's after you. If you choose another lab, you get lost in a maze that just happens to be the home of an enormous rat. The choice is yours in this Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 super spooky endings. Reader beware, you choose the scare. Give yourself goosebumps. Don't miss the next book in the series. We'll go wait till we get through this one first before we get to that. But yes. Now, before we get into it, though, any updates? No. There's no updates. So obviously Dimitri was not here today, as we knew yesterday, I said, because his TV was meant to possibly be coming today or tomorrow. He's not sure. So hopefully it came today. Otherwise, yes, hopefully it comes tomorrow. Otherwise, that's going to be very problematic. But he will be here Saturday. And what will he be doing here Saturday? Well, originally I was like, oh, I think maybe we'll do the Pokemon, the overnight Pokemon. But that needs a bit more setup because I have to basically get my old capture device, which I think is out there. I've got to test it all and everything like that. And I need to do a few more test things first before we're like, okay, let's actually do it because I know it can be done. I mean, I know it can be done. I just need to make sure my stuff works. That's all, because I haven't tried using my old one in a very long time. If it doesn't work, I do have another workaround thing somewhere, I think. I would just have to find it. But, yes, so instead, what this Saturday will be, it will be an overnight one. It will be the Dimitri versus Souls-like. It will also be Dimitri versus Prawny. Yes. But it will be a Souls-like. And as I was saying yesterday, is that the 3 Souls-like, 3/4 Souls-like, that we're like, ooh, it could be this, maybe that could work well. But really it's down to, well, it's really because the crab one I haven't finished, so we take that one off. Excuse me. So really it's just Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, whatever it's called, Fallen Jedi. 9 Souls, the space ninja cat, and the other one was the first Souls like that we did like 2 years ago, which was Lords of the Fallen. That one's a longer one. So that would actually go over 2 days. But that one is very, very Souls-like. So then, but I think the idea to go is we'll go with the 9 Souls one, because I have done that one. Like all 3 of these I have done. So if he gets stuck, you know, I can help him out a bit. But also because it's actually just been announced that they're bringing the physical copy out of 9 Souls on Switch and on PlayStation 5. So yeah, I think that sort of fits well with the thing and stuff like that. Also, interestingly, Twitch just did their recap thing, and it was one of my top games that I was top 10% in, was the 9 Souls. And I mean, I know I did do that like a bit, but I don't think I played it heaps to the point that would have put it there, but I mean, I put it there anyway, so why not? We'll do it now. It's apparently one of my top games of this year, so we'll finish the year off with doing 9 Souls. With Dimitri doing it, and me sitting beside him and perhaps helping him out in some parts. He said, though, I was like, oh, he might fall asleep because it's a 2D game and, you know, it might be boring and he might fall asleep. But then he was like, oh, what are some other Souls-like games? And his first one was like, what about Sekiro? Do you have Sekiro? And I'm like, 9 Souls has been described as basically a 2D Sekiro. And he's like, what? What nonsense? Balderdash. So he searched it up, and literally the first thing he read was, it's a 2D Sekiro because it's ninja. It's Ninja Cat in space, basically. So yeah. So I think that's the one that will go. So that's what we'll do Saturday. Plus Prawny, he'll fight Prawny, and he'll fight a bunch of space cats. So yeah, that's Saturday. Everybody, and congratulations, Colorful Willie, on a 35 stream streak. Whoa, well done. Hi, Kuro, Gabe. Again, hi Salami, hi Pongy, in luck, hi Bwib, and good evening, Colourful Willy. I hope that you're well and wonderful today. Yeah, I posted my recap in your Discord as you went live, I think. Ooh, very good, very good. Is there a rating system in Nine Souls? A rating system. A rating system. I'm going to say no, because I don't know. Could be funny if you can compare. Oh, like as in like how I went compared to him. The only way in which we'd be able to sort of do that is one is there's two different endings. One is if you do everything, and the other one is if you don't do everything. The thing is, the final boss is harder if you've done everything. So to get what's called the true ending, you've got to do everything, and the last boss has like an extra phase. Whereas if you haven't done everything, then the final boss doesn't have that extra phase, and the final boss is actually easier to beat. So I suppose that's the closest thing with I guess what you mean now with the rating thing would be the closest thing. That in combination with like total time. I don't know what my total time was with the game, but you know, I'd be able to go back through the VODs and sort of do it. I mean, I could just use whatever it says is my total playtime, except that's not going to be completely accurate because that would have like whenever I had to pause to open boxes or stuff like that, I suppose. But I mean, give us a bit of an idea maybe start off with, but yeah, I suppose really the only thing would be the ending, what ending he gets. So yeah. And if Dimitri does bad, then he gets a punishment. Ooh, like you got an A. Ah, yes, I get you. Yes. No, it doesn't have anything like that. But yes. To when you played. Yeah, no, the only thing would be the difference between the endings. Yes, some of them have like multiple endings. This one just has the two. Let me think. Is there? Did the Lords of the Fallen have like a rating thing with the bosses and stuff like that? Because I can see it in my head. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that one did. Yes, but yes, yeah. So that's going to be Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, not playtime. It would be like maybe boss fights. Um, yeah, with those ones, it's more like with the games that have their D, C, B, A, and S. Usually, that's ones where it's not so much open world type of thing. Which I mean, yeah, they're kind of open map, we'll say. They're more ones usually that are a bit more linear, with like closed off things. But at the same time, usually a lot of bosses are you go into a phase thing and it sort of does it. But yeah, no, this one doesn't. This one, no, definitely doesn't. But yes. But I mean, we could also just see how many times he needs to tap out and I need to take over. So we could have major prediction at the start of how many times I have to step in, or we just have it as if he has to get me to step in more than over X amount of times, then he gets a punishment. Something like that. Or if he doesn't finish. So, because yeah, the playtime for that is 17 hours. So you add in all the extra stuff and everything like that, and you're looking at about, 21-ish, 21, 22 sort of hours. So yeah. Hi again, Colorful Elite, and congratulations, Kuro, on a 35 stream streak. Whoa, well done, well done. Oh yeah, could have a tap out punishment. I've been working on the ones for the Pokemon. Excuse me, for when we do the Pokemon. So there's gonna be some things. There's gonna be some things there that'll be interesting. Because I've played, the Let's Go EV when it first came out. I don't remember it, but Dimitri's played it more recently, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you got to do this, and there's that, and everything like that." He's like, "Oh, we could do things where like people force us to, go shiny hunting or something like that." And I'm like, but isn't shiny hunting just sort of running around in the same place, sort of in a circle? He's, no, it's about combos. And I'm like, what do you mean combos? Pokemon doesn't have combos. You're talking about fighting game. Pokemon's not a fighting game. I mean, you got battles, but no, apparently a combo thing in the Pokemon Let's Go thing is that to get certain Pokemon to appear, you have to create a combo, which is where you catch the exact same Pokemon like 20 times. He was saying that like he wanted to get a Bulbasaur and to get a Bulbasaur, you had to be in a certain area, certain route or something, and you had to capture a certain Pokemon, yeah, a certain amount of times in a row, and it has to be in a row, and then the fancy Pokemon could possibly appear, or the rare Pokemon. But that's the same way that you get a shiny, is that you just have to constantly be catching the same Pokemon over and over and over and over. So there could be, a thing that people can do. So it's going to be like for the incentive type things, is that for a certain amount of bits or subscriptions or something like that, is you can trigger certain things, and you can choose if it's going to be for me or if it's going to be him. And so then you can force one of us to go shiny hunting, or even if we are currently doing something like that, it could break the chain. We have to break the chain, which means we'd have to start over again. That one I'm sort of less inclined on, because I don't know how often we'd be doing things like that. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know, because Demetrius played the game more than me now, so yeah. He gave me a bunch of ideas the other day that I'm going through, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how that would work, or oh, that's not too bad, but yeah. So that's the other thing, is why not doing it this Saturday, so I can also check all the technical side, but then also I can get sorted the things of how people can help/hinder either one of us. So yeah, so that'll be, not only will you be able to be like, oh, you got to throw out the Pokemon, you've got to be like, you can go like, oh, you've got to go and spend the next 10 minutes just catching the same Pokemon over and over and over. That'll really slow whoever you pick down. So yeah. Whew. I'm excited for the Pokemon one. I think that's an interesting idea. And there are a couple of other ideas. I can't check on anything here because all the things are on the computer out there, and this one I can't check on with the thing because with the cloud stuff's not done with this one. Actually, it probably is, but I can't open anything else up because it can. This one's very fragile. I mean, the other one out in the studio is fragile. This one in the study is like almost even more fragile in some ways. It's much older, but yeah. So there's a bunch of different ideas. I need to figure out about the naming one, because that would probably be like the most lowest thinged thing. To the point that I want to have some things that are channel point stuff, but not too many things that are channel point things, just because it's a lot more work for me to set up. So things like naming a Pokemon or something like that might be done through channel points. Like some things will be both. There'll be channel, like, to be able to get us, let's say, to name a Pokemon, it might be one subscription or a certain amount of channel points or something like that. There'll be some that will be both, but the real crazy ones will mostly just be bit/subscription type stuff. Yeah, with the biggest ones being the releasing of the Pokemon. Yeah, I'm trying to think some of the other ideas that that he'd said as well. There were ones about changing the party, and like changing the party, like someone gets to actually choose what that person's party is, for like the next 30 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Um, yeah, different things like that. Oh, then there's like, so there's ones where he was saying something. I was like, oh, that could work for a random or a like deliberate picking, as in, for a smaller amount. So again, these aren't the numbers. I'm just making these numbers up though. For examples, is that, let's say for 5 subscriptions, you can choose myself or Dimitri, and they have to change all of their party except for their partner Pokemon. So for Dimitri, that's Pikachu. For myself, that's Eevee. all the other Pokemon in their party have to be swapped out for random ones in the box or something like that. But then, so that's, let's say 5 subscriptions, but say for 10 subscriptions, you get to actually pick which ones they're swapped out for. Different things like that. There are a couple of ideas where, yeah, there's like different versions of them where it could be a random / we ourselves pick, or where the person who triggers it gets to pick type of stuff. Yeah, there was another idea which is like a similar vein of that, where we had to, put all of our Pokemon except for the partner Pokemon into the box, into Bill's box, or whatever they call it these days. And our party has to consume of like the next 5 Pokemon that we encounter, we have to catch, and then we have to use them for, the next 30 minutes or something like that. There were a couple ones to do with the moves that Dimitri wasn't completely sure on, because he's mostly played newer Pokemon games, but he has played this one a bit, but he's not sure if this one's got the things, but like to do with your TMs and your HMs and stuff like that, and that like people could specifically choose a move to get replaced by a TM or something. Yeah, the problem with that though is that then we have to make sure we actually have that TM or something. So I think those ones might be a little bit too tricky to yeah. I don't want to have too many things, but yeah, there's definitely some ideas. There's some ideas, so I still need to work on that and then fine tune it and then check and make sure it's all doable and it's not too clunky and everything. And yeah. Oh, there was one that Dimitri had said about reading the stuff out. What was it? It was about for the next like 5 minutes you have to do all the reading, and you have to do it in a dramatic voice. And I'm like, but I read everything anyway. I don't know if I feel like that one would only ever be for him, for Dimitri to read. But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So still gotta go through and work all of that stuff out. But yeah. Hi, Salem, Pongy, Kuro, Colourful Willy, and any lurkers, and good... Yes, evening. I already said that before, but we'll say it again. Good evening again, Big White Bear. But yes, so we are here once again for book number 4, The Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek. So let us get into that before... I mean, it's going to get, like, cool ish, I would assume, as the sun goes down, but it's going to hit to a point where it's actually going to get a little bit hotter because the sun's going to be blaring even more just behind me. The sun won't be there, it'll be over there, but it'll be hitting parts closer, so I'll be getting more warmer. But it's fairly coolish today, so it's okay. So yeah. Oh, instead of skipping dialogue, Dimitri will obviously skip all... Oh, I mean, yeah, there we go. That's true. Yeah. But again, that's one that would like only be directly for him. So then he'd be like, oh, but it's not even as fair. Everyone's going to pick on me. Oh, boy. Oh, they're always picking on me. People are always picking on me. Oh, boy. And stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe he should apply to be Morty's replacement in that show that Morty kid's in. Anyway, let us begin. Beware, do not read this book from beginning to end. Enter the laboratories of the evil Dr. Eek. These are labs with experiments so strange, so amazing, so terrifying. There are super smart chimps and never-ending mazes. There are growling German shepherds and mind-boggling virtual reality. One visit with Dr. Eek and science class will seem like kindergarten. The scary adventure is all about you. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. If you make the right choices, you will escape from Dr. Eek's deadly labs alive. If you make the wrong choice, beware. So take a long, deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1. 2. Give yourself goosebumps. I need a sound thingy. A sound thingy could work, I think. But, like, not that. But like I think a sound with like a spooky sound. We need a spooky sound for me to be able to play here with one of the thingies. So, hmm. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Do 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 do. Oh, whoop, 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 nope, whoop. There we go. And alrighty, I'll get from looking and say, of course I'll skip. It's a race. Anyway, and also, wow. And good afternoon, Dimitri. Hope that you're well and wonderful today. Exactly. Oh, well, depends. Are we doing a prediction for this versus? Because if people vote for Dimitri, they might punish Salem more. I'll let me decide that to help their horse. Hmm. 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 So what you're saying is, if ever they bring out Kuro's horse game on the PlayStation, we'll have to do a cosplay of it, and we'll have to cosplay as horses. But yeah, got some ideas, and yes, there's heaps of examples. No TV yet. Oh, well, if they didn't ring, then, because that's what they said, is that they would ring. So if they haven't rung, it's not coming today. Still awaiting the call or text. Yes, yes. Providing that they do what they said that they're going to do, which is, call or whatever. Yes, that would be, yes, no, yeah, you'd get the call. I'd say you'd get the call before lunchtime. But like you said, is you didn't get the call last time, and you actually just saw the van when you were like halfway down the mountain. So who knows? Who actually knows? Yeah, I honestly, I don't know if I don't know if it'll even come today or tomorrow. I think when they said that, they were just basing off the fact that, oh, because of the dates and everything and whatnot. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, it'll come tomorrow or the next day. Because that's all they said to him was, it'll come tomorrow or the next day. I don't think that they actually even checked or even know where it actually is. They're just like, oh, yeah, look, today's the day that it was meant to be there. We'll just say, it'll come tomorrow or the next day. And then it'll be Tuesday next week and he still won't have it. And he'll be like, okay, he'll call them up and they'll be like, oh, yeah, no, it'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow the next day again. Anyway, hopefully it does come. Yes. Cosplay as jockeys. Well, I mean, one of us could be the horse and the other could be the jockey, I guess. Exactly. Deliveries suck in Australia. Lazy as. Well, I mean, it depends on the actual, like, couriers and stuff like that. Because some of them aren't too bad, but then also it depends on the areas. Because, like, some of the big ones, they're not good in certain areas, but then they're good in other areas because it's based on the people that are actually there and if they do their job properly or not. Yeah. I've had some good couriers here in the area. But then I've also had some not so good ones. I had one that, like, yeah, popped up saying the thing was delivered. And I was like, and then it said it was signed by someone who is not someone who lives at this house, who has ever lived at this house, or even is a neighbor. So I'm like, but okay, so they've delivered it, but someone signed for it. So I started to freak out because it was something that was actually very expensive. So I called them up and everything like that, and they said, oh, they'll launch an investigation and try and figure it out or something. Anyway, the next day, the courier actually delivered it, and I was like, oh, the thing said it was delivered yesterday. It was signed by, and the person said that, oh yeah, he was on the phone, and he forgot to deliver it to me. He drove past my place. So basically, what it was is that it got marked as delivered because it was actually the next delivery that he delivered, and that person that signed they signed for their delivery, which was the next delivery, but he it scanned in as it was my thing. So, but yeah, because they're on the phone, they just absent-minded drove past, and yeah, so that was anyway. Yes. I hope not, and hope it's today, if not tomorrow. Hi, Dimitri. That happened to me about signing just last week. Hi, Kuro. But alrighty. This is our first life. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eek Laboratories. That door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump. You didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead, wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave as soon as you figure out you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for my mom, you tell her. Who's your mom? The receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30, quitting time. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. Yeah, I guess, you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mom never mentioned him before, Dr. Eek? All she ever told you was that she had a new job in a research lab. You didn't know there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. Go on to page 2. Woo! Are you sure your mum works for Dr. Eek? The receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, this whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall, nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel and about 6 inches thick. Whew. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge of the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. Okay, you told yourself. So the place has a weird door. That's no reason to freak out. Yeah, she works here, you tell the receptionist. She does research. Well, take a seat, she replies. I'm sure your mom will be right here. Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair. Then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic, and they're all chained together. Sit down on page 3. Whew. You sit down in an orange plastic chair, but Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So what movie is your mom going to take us to? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, we promised my mom we wouldn't act too wild here. You warn with a grin. Yeah, he says, like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but... Hey, you cry, don't drink that. But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I mean it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. Then the veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a hideous face, as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze. Your heart pounds wildly. What did you drink, you ask him. Go on to page 4. Oh, it's all so consecutive. Oh. You race over to the desk. You pick up the glass Sam was drinking from and sniff to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing to the glass. It's just water. You can't help laughing too. You like Sam. He's funny. But sometimes your best friend can go too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mom, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can do our own experiments. On second thought, maybe we should just sit tight and wait. If you sit down and wait for your mom, turn to page 11. If you look for her, turn to page 6. Straight away, we're into a choice. And by the sounds of it, it's not a whole thing of, oh, do we just leave? Do we not enter the spooky laboratory place? Like all the other books before it, I think maybe they got too many complaints about people. Oh, what are you taking up this extra page for with a thing that's like, no, that's not actually a choice. You gotta go. It doesn't matter. You just go with the other thing. You go. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So, are we gonna sit down and wait for your mom, or are we gonna go look for her? Where's about you, Hi, Dimitri. All right, back to lurking while I wait for delivery, cough, and doing the power things for fridge, cough. And I'm not listening to my new audio book. I'm not the hero, cough. I think maybe you should see a doctor about all those coughs. Alrighty, will this one give us an out and immediately kill us or not? Oh. But good luck, Dimitri, and thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic time. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. I'm in the lounge room. It's been waiting for the delivery, but waiting is boring, so book time. Why is Sam always the sidekick? And never just the kick. Look for her. Oh, I'm watching on TV, so I'm slightly delayed. Look for her. All right, we're going to look for her. Page 6. Let's go look for my mom, you tell Sam. But remember, no goofing around. This is a science lab. Right, Sam agrees. He zooms through the waiting room door into a long hallway. You quickly follow. The hallway is pretty boring. Just a lot of closed doors on both white walls. And there's no way to know what's behind most of them. You open the first one and peek in. Fiddlesticks. It's just the lounge. At least that's what it looks like. There are 2 beat-up brown couches, a table, some chairs, and a bunch of vending machines. Got any change? Sam asks. I'm starving. You pull out coins from your pocket. You've got enough for only one snack selection. You drop the coins into the slot in the machine. You start to punch the number of your favorite candy bar. But before you can hit the buttons, a hand suddenly clamps down on your shoulder. Turn around slowly on page 14. Wow, you gasp as you turn around. It's a big hairy chimpanzee. You and Sam freeze. This chimp has you cornered in the lounge. Where did he come from? Is he friendly or dangerous? You have no idea what he'll do, and he's bigger than any chimp you've ever seen. In fact, he's at least as tall as you are. More like a gorilla, you think. You swallow hard. I've never seen a chimp up close like this before, Sam whispers. Me either, you whisper back. The chimp tilts its head, staring at you. He never seems to blink. Then slowly he reaches his other big hairy hand toward your throat. Turn back to page 13. Oh no. You want to scream, but nothing comes out. The chimp moves closer, closer to your throat. But he doesn't grab you or even touch you. Instead, he reaches past you to the buttons on the candy machine. He points directly at A6. Hey, cries Sam. He wants you to get a different candy bar. Cool, you say, smiling at this amazing monkey. But is it okay to give candy to a chimp? Before you can decide, Sam pushes the buttons for A6. A chocolatey, peanutty thing drops into the slot. Sam quickly unwraps the candy bar and hands it to the chimpanzee. His monstrous teeth chomp down hard on the candy. He finishes it in 2 bites and then pats you on the head. A moment later, he motions for you to follow him. Come on, let's see what he wants, Sam cries. I don't know, you reply. I thought we were looking for my mom. Maybe we should go back to the waiting room. Sam rolls his eyes. Where's your sense of adventure? Well, where is your sense of adventure? If you follow the chimp, we head to page 101. If we go back to the waiting room, we go to page 42. We're going to follow this peanutty, chocolatey, loving, munching chimp, or are we going to go back to the waiting room? Oh, Fiddlesticks, I almost forgot that I should paint my nails tonight. Not that I have to, but my current nails are chipped. And James is finally better, so we are going to our event tomorrow. Ooh, very good to hear, very good to hear. Follow Peanut Loving Chimp, follow. Okie dokie. We're going to follow that chimp on 101. You follow the chimp. He leads you quickly down the gleaming white hallway. Oddly enough, he seems to know exactly where he's going. When the chimp's not watching, Sam stoops over. He copies the chimp's lumbering scamper. Ooh, ooh, Sam cries, scratching his underarms and making chimp faces. The chimp turns around and catches Sam at it. He glares at both of you. Weird, you think. You know chimps are supposed to be smart animals, but the gleam in this one's eyes. Frankly, you think he looks smarter than Sam. At last, you come to a door. The chimp opens it and makes a sound. It sounds like eek. What's in here, you wonder? You step through the door into a large laboratory. Sam follows right behind. Inside, a tall man wearing a lab coat writes on a clipboard. He whirls around. He glares at you with intense dark eyes. Who are you? He demands loudly. What are you doing here? Explain who you are on 122. You try to stay cool. Even with the scientist glaring at you, you introduce yourself and Sam to the man. You reach out to shake his hand. Grown-ups usually like that. Ah, yes, the man says, squeezing your hand a little too tightly. I know your mother well, a brilliant scientist. You smile proudly. The chimp tugs on the sleeve of the man's lab coat, trying to get his attention. He makes some signs with his hands. You can't figure out what he's trying to say, but it seems to be a kind of sign language. The man nods as if he understands. I am Professor Niziak, one of Dr. Eek's assistants, the man says. I see you've met Oscar. He nods towards the chimp. Would you care to take a look at our work? He leads you and Sam to a wall of windows. You peer through. You both peer through. Wow, Sam gasps. Take a closer look. 53. Woo. Your mouth falls open as you stare through the lab window. To your amazement, the lab is filled with chimps. But they're not just monkeying around. They're doing cool things. Playing checkers, painting pictures, and reading books. Look, Sam says. Those two chimps are playing video games. Wow, can you believe their scores? What kind of research are you doing in here? You ask Professor Isaac. Studying the brains of chimpanzees, he explains. Chimps are very smart, and physically they're a lot like people. There is much we can learn from them. Oscar gives the professor a nudge, a hard nudge, as if he wants something. The professor jumps a little. Then he turns to you. Oscar is wondering if you'd care to go inside. Professor Isaac asks. He nods toward the next room. To see the research up close? Sure, Sam cries. Can we play video games? Oscar would like that very much, Professor Isaac replies with a strange smile. What's he smiling about, you wonder? Come on, Sam urges you. What are you waiting for? Alrighty. If you go into the room with the chimps, turn to 67. If not, then think of an excuse on 108. Are we going to head into the room with the chimps and play some video games or something? Or are we going to pull a Dimitri and make an excuse to not go and have fun? Do I have water in here? I do. It's the same water from last time. Have fun. We're going to have some fun. Maybe there'll be a beat that's sick, and then we can take a ride on a disco stick. Have fun, have fun. So that's 6-7. Whoop. All right. Why not take a quick look around the lab, you think? After all, your mom never lets you do anything like this. She never shows you any of this cool stuff. This might be your only chance. Yeah, we'd love to see the chimps, you tell Professor Isaac. Whole thing just blinked black for a second. All right. Professor Isaac smiles. Oscar jumps up and down. Good, Professor Isaac says. Quickly, he ushers you and Sam through the connecting door. As soon as you walk in, all the chimps glance up. They stare at you and Sam without making a sound. Weird, you think. You hold very still, not wanting to scare the chimps. That's why you don't notice what's happening behind you. Oscar the chimp is slamming the door and locking it with a key. Hey, what's going on? Find out on page 10. Oh. As soon as the door is locked, the chimps stop playing games and reading books. The fun and games are over. Several of them run to the windows and pull down the shades. Then Oscar takes a lab coat from a hook on the wall and slips it on. He pulls something from the pocket and puts it in his palm. Then he walks over to Professor Jacques and holds out his hand. Resting there is a small chocolate treat. Professor Jacques snatches it and stuffs it in his mouth, as if it's a reward. Oscar pats him on the head. Then Oscar points to a far corner of the room. Hey, you didn't see that before. The whole wall is lined with large cages. Eek, eek, Oscar cries, making that same sound again. Professor Jacques obediently hurries over to one of the cages. He crawls inside, lies down, and curls up to take a nap. Uh-oh, Sam croaks, clutching your arm. Look. Time to bed 45. As you stare at the cages, you get a horrible sinking feeling. You see that several of the cages are occupied, but not by chimps, by people. They're all adults. Most of them are wearing lab coats, and all of them are asleep. Sam jabs you in the ribs and points. That woman curled up in the cage in the corner. It's the thinly lipped receptionist. No wonder the halls of Eek Laboratories were so empty. Hey, what's going on here? Sam shouts. Oscar smiles at you. A chimp smile. Then he lets out a series of eeks. You can't understand chimpanzee, but if you could, you'd hear Oscar saying, "We're studying human brains. Humans are very smart, and physically they're a lot like chimpanzee. There is much we can learn from them." Then he pats you on the head. "We're especially delighted that we now have 2 human children to study," he goes on. "It should be very interesting." You and Sam back away. You don't understand what he just said, but as you stumble into the locked door, you're pretty sure you understand one very important scientific fact. This is definitely the end. Oh, wow. That was quick. Didn't see that one coming. That ending so soon. It seemed like it was still building up to like the premise of what's going on. But no. We just became lab children, humans. Oh, yeah. Wow. So don't follow the monkey. I mean, we actually had made quite a few choices though along that way. But yes. Oh boy. There we go. 3 whole choices. Now we gotta go all the way back to the start. So that's life 1 down. We have 2 lives. Go. Oh. Alrighty. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eek Laboratories. That door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump. You didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave as soon as you figure out you're in the wrong place. "I'm looking for my mum," you tell her. "Who's your mum?" the receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30, quitting time. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top-secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. "Yeah, I guess," you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mom never mentioned him before? Dr. Eek, all she ever told you was that she had a new job in a research lab. You didn't know there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. "Are you sure your mom works for Dr. Eek?" the receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, this whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall. Nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel and about 6 inches thick. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge to the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. "Okay," you told yourself, "so the place has a weird door. That's no reason to freak out." "Yeah, she works here," you tell the receptionist. "She does research." "Well, take a seat," she replies. "I'm sure your mum will be right here." Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair, and then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic, and they're all chained together. You sit down in an orange plastic chair, but Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So, what movie is your mum going to take us to? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, we promised my mum we wouldn't act too wild here. You warn with a grin. Yeah, he says, like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but... Hey! You cry. Don't touch that! But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I mean it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. Then the veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a hideous face, as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze. Your heart pounds wildly. What did you drink? You ask him. You race over to the desk. You pick up the glass Sam was drinking from and sniff to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing at the glass. It's just water. You can't help laughing too. You like Sam. He's funny, but sometimes your best friend can go too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mom, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can do our own experiments. On second thought, maybe you should just sit tight and wait. Are we gonna sit down and wait for our mom, or are we gonna go look for her? It was vodka. Ho ho! So if we sit down and wait for our mom, we turn to page 11. If we look for her, we go to page 6. Sit and wait. Alrighty, we're gonna sit and wait. Sit. Time. 11. Let's not mess around, you say to Sam. We should wait for my mom. You take a seat in one of the orange plastic chairs in the waiting room. Sam plops down in another. Well, fiddlesticks, he says. I thought your mom was going to take us to the movies. She is, you assure him, as soon as she gets off work. But you look at your watch and think, ruh-roh, she's late again. This has happened a lot lately. You hardly ever see your mom since she started working at Eek Labs. She spends more and more time at the lab. When you complained about it this morning, she apologized and gave you a big hug. She offered to take you to dinner and the movies that night. And bring Sam if you want, she said. You check your watch again. It's almost 6 o'clock. Where is she? Suddenly, the door opens. A short woman in a white lab coat steps into the waiting room. She stares at you and Sam. Then she motions for you to come over. Sorry, we've been running late, the woman says. I'm Vanessa. Follow me. You're here for the raster experiment, aren't you? Vanessa asks. The pay is $50 cash. You get it at the end of the experiment, and it takes only about 20 minutes. Let's go. You look at Sam. $50? Woohoo! But what kind of experiment is it? If you go along with Vanessa, turn to page 20. If you don't want to take a chance on the raster experiment, turn to page 63. Woohoo! Are we going to go along with Vanessa and be a part of this raster experiment and get $50 Enos? Whoo boy. Or are we going to not take a chance? Get dollary dues. Hoo-hoo. Okie dokie. Go along with Vanessa. Yeah. $50, Sam explains. His eyes light up. Great golly, you say, grinning. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek will explain it to you, Vanessa replies mysteriously. Follow me. You follow Vanessa into a long hallway. The place is empty, eerily empty. Closed doors line both sides of the hall. Vanessa's high heels click on the tile floor as she leads the way. Where is she taking you? Finally, she stops in front of a door with triple locks. There's an intercom box on the wall beside the door. She pushes the button. Yes, a man's voice crackles. They're here, Vanessa announces. Why is she acting as if they were expecting you? Click! You hear an electronic lock unlocking, then another and another. The door swings open. You peer into the room. It's pitch black. Come on, come in, a voice says from the darkness. Right, I was waiting for you on page 32. You step into the dark room. A light flashes on. Well, 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 what have we here? Says an older man in a white lab coat. He has grey hair and a soft, pudgy face. Our next 2 appointments, Vanessa explains. She tucks a strand of her long brown hair behind her ear. They're here for the raster experiment. Really, the man says. He pushes his wrinkled face right up to within an inch of your nose. He stares you in the eye. You try to gaze away. There's something odd about him, about one of his eyes. It looks as if his right cheek has been pulled up to meet the eye and been stapled there. It gives him a weird squint. Then you notice something else. His lab coat is on backwards. I'm Dr. Eek. Are you sure you're here for the raster experiment, the man says. Yeah, definitely, Sam insists. What do we have to do? That all depends, Dr. Eek says, with an evil-sounding laugh. What are you willing to do? Decide on 64. Whee! Whee! Dr. Eek is too weird, you decide. You start to back out of the room, but Sam still has dollar signs in his eyes. Where are you going? Sam whispers to you. Out of here, you declare. No way, he insists. I'm staying until I get the money. Dr. Eek grins. He can tell you are having second thoughts. How bad can it be? Sam mutters under his breath. I mean, seriously, your mom works here. It's got to be a safe place, right? You nod half-heartedly. But where is your mom anyway? As if he can read your mind, Dr. Eek speaks up. Actually, he says, I'm not sure you're right for the raster experiment. I think you two are more suited to something else. He lets his voice trail off. No, all he said actually was more suited to something. He lets his voice trail off. Else. There we go. He finally says, this sounds worse every minute. All right, here we go. If you do whatever Dr. Eek tells you to do, turn to page 25. If you chicken out, turn to page 17. Oh, alrighty. Are we going to continue with some experimenty thingy, or are we going to chicken out? Go along. The main character is usually the most cautious and responsible. But I guess that makes sense since we are the ones making decisions. Continue. Go along. Okie dokie. You whatever Dr. Eek tells you. Yep. 25. Okay, you give him. We'll do it. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek just smiles slightly, and then he motions for you to follow him. This way, he orders. He leads you down a long hall with doors on both sides. He stops short at a door painted green. What's in there? You whisper to Sam. I don't know, Sam says. Some kind of experiment, probably. Yeah, probably, you think. Until Dr. Eek pulls open the door. Hey, it's a restroom, you cry. Here, Dr. Eek says, handing you a bucket and a mop. Clean up. Clean up, you exclaim. Correct, Dr. Eek says. Floors, sinks, all of it. I want it all scrubbed and spotless before you leave. Then he marches out of the room. Clean sinks? He wants you to clean sinks? Then you and Sam glance around. Weird, you mutter. Look at those sinks. They're so high, Sam explains. They're almost 8 feet off the ground. I wonder what kind of guy needs a sink that tall, you ask. An instant later, the door opens. A humongous 12-foot tall kid A kid your age stomps into the restroom. Hi, he says in a booming voice. Then he notices you staring at his height. Yeah, I know, he groans. I'm a freak. Dr. Eek did this to me, but you guys are lucky. You get to clean sinks. Whatever you do, don't do the raster experiment. Clean sinks, you think again. Hey, gladly, any day. And when you're done, you can wash your hands of this whole creepy mess. The end. Okay, there we go. We got turned into janitors? We got a job as being a janitor. And we get $50 for being a janitor. And that's it. Huh. Well then. I mean, we didn't die, but we don't always die. Sometimes we just get trapped places or something. But I mean, we didn't find our mother. We didn't get to go to the movies. I feel like that's like a medium result. I think that's the most medium-ish result we've had from any of the books. I feel like that's like not really a proper, like that's again, it's not a negative ending. Huh. What? So wait, recap. But we haven't died yet, so there's that, yeah. If we go look for her, there is a chimp. But I guess we don't want to follow the chimp. But if we sit and wait, we meet the guy. But we can't say yes to his thing. I feel like there's too many. I mean, we always end up with unanswered questions and everything. But again, like we're looking for our mother. I think we need to at least end with having seen our mother with our mother or something our mother. I think. So I think that's considered a. I think in our win or losers that needs to be counted as a loss, right? Because if that's a win, then we're done with this book. That doesn't seem right. Not from that. But I mean, again, apparently we're meant to get $50, right? Anyway. Back to the start. And now we'll try and go faster. How did you get in here? A voice calls as you enter the waiting room at Eagle Laboratories. The door is supposed to be locked at all times. You and your friend Sam jump, but you didn't think anyone was around. Then you spot the receptionist sitting behind a tall desk. She's a short, frizzy-haired redhead wearing too much lipstick for her thin lips. She glares at you as if she expects you to turn around and leave as soon as you figure out you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for my mum, you tell her. Who's your mum? The receptionist asks. She starts to pack up her things to leave. You glance at the clock. It's almost 5:30. Quitting time. She's the new lab technician, you explain. She's working on some top-secret experiments for Eek. Really? For Dr. Eek? The receptionist gazes at you suspiciously. Yeah, I guess, you say. But really, you're not sure. How come your mum never mentioned him before? Dr. Eek, all she ever told you was that she had a new job in the research lab. You didn't know that there was a medical doctor involved. Doctors give you the creeps. Are you sure your mum works for Dr. Eek? The receptionist grills you. She raises an eyebrow. Her eyebrows give you the creeps. In fact, this whole place gives you the creeps. From the minute you stepped off the elevator on the 19th floor, there were no signs of life. No one in the echoing hall, nothing but the creaking elevator door. And then you spotted the door to Eek Labs. Your mother never told you about that either. The door looked like the door to a huge vault. It was heavy steel and about 6 inches thick. Your best friend Sam pulled a small handle near the edge of the door. To your surprise, the door swung open easily. Okay, you told yourself, so the place is a weird door. There's no reason to freak out. Yeah, she works here, you tell the receptionist. She does research. Well, take a seat, she replies. I'm sure your mum will be right here. Then she packs up her oversized tote bag and walks out. You search around for a chair, then you see them across the room. The chairs are all orange plastic and they're all chained together. You sit down in an orange plastic chair, but Sam doesn't. He starts roaming around the waiting room. So, what movie is your mum going to take us to? Sam asks. You shrug. Who knows? But remember, Sam, you promised my mum we wouldn't act too wild here. You warn with a grin. Yeah, he says. Like he really cares. He wanders over to the receptionist's desk. He picks up a glass of clear liquid that's sitting there. It's probably just water, but hey, you cry. Don't drink that. But before you can stop him, he drinks it down. Sam drains the glass in one gulp. Then he whirls around to face you. Sam, I'm in it, you moan. We can't fool around. This is a science lab. He starts to answer, but suddenly his face turns white. He clutches his throat and gasps. The veins on his neck start to pop out. A moment later, he makes a hideous face, as if he's turning into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You freeze. Your heart pounds wildly. What did you drink? You ask him. You race over to the desk, you pick up the glass Sam was drinking from, and sniff to see if it has a smell. Nothing. Sam bursts out laughing. He gives you a devilish grin. Water, Sam says, pointing to the glass. It's just water. You can't help laughing too. You like Sam, he's funny, but sometimes your best friend can go too far. He's always playing crazy jokes on you. Sam gazes around. You're sure he's trying to find some other trouble to get into. Maybe we should look for my mom, you suggest. Anything to keep Sam from getting into more trouble. His eyes light up. Great idea, he cries. Maybe we can do our own experiments. On second thought, maybe you should just sit tight and wait. If you sit down and wait for your mum, turn to 11. If we look for her, we go to page 6. So, are we going to go look for the mother, or are we going to sit down and wait for her? I guess look. Okie dokie. Let's go look for my mom, you tell Sam. But remember, no goofing around. This is a science lab. Right, Sam agrees. He zooms through the waiting room door into a long hallway. You quickly follow. The hallway is pretty boring. Just a lot of closed doors on both white walls. And there's no way to know what's behind most of them. You open the first one and peek in. Fish sticks. It's just the lounge. At least that's what it looks like. There are 2 beat-up brown couches, a table, some chairs, and a bunch of vending machines. Got any change, Sam asks. I'm starving. You pull out coins from your pocket. You've got enough for only 1 snack selection. You drop the coins into the slot in the machine. You start to punch the number of your favorite candy bar, but before you can hit the buttons, a hand suddenly clamps down on your shoulder. Wow, you gasp as you turn around. It's a big hairy chimpanzee. You and Sam freeze. The chimp has you cornered in the lounge. Where did he come from? Is he friendly or dangerous? You have no idea what he'll do. And he's bigger than any chimp you've ever seen. In fact, he's at least as tall as you are. More like a gorilla, you think. You swallow hard. I've never seen a chimp up this close like this before, Sam whispers. Me either, you whisper back. The chimp tilts his head, staring at you. He never seems to blink. Then slowly he reaches his other big hairy hand towards your throat. You want to scream, but nothing comes out. The chimp moves closer to your throat, but he doesn't grab you, or even touch you. Instead, he reaches past you to the buttons on the candy machine. He points directly at A6. Hey, cries Sam. He wants you to get a different candy bar. Cool, you say, smiling at this amazing monkey. But is it okay to give candy to a chimp? Before you can decide, Sam pushes the buttons for A6. A chocolatey, peanutty thing drops into the slot. Sam quickly unwraps the candy bar and hands it to the chimpanzee. His monstrous teeth jump down hard on the candy. He finishes it in 2 bites and then pats you on the head. A moment later, he motions for you to follow. Come on, let's see what he wants, Sam cries. I don't know, you reply. I thought we were looking for my mom. Maybe we should go back to the waiting room. Sam rolls his eyes. Where's your sense of adventure? Well, where is your sense of adventure? Are we going to follow the chimp? Or are we going to go back to the waiting room? Back to the waiting room. We'd better not mess around, you tell Sam as you back away from the chimp. Let's go back to the waiting room. I mean it. Now. Reluctantly, Sam follows you. The two of you watch the chimp the whole time you back out of the room. When you reach the door, the chimp tilts his head to one side and waves goodbye. He looks really sad to see you leave. Then you hurry back down the hall to the waiting room. It's still empty, but a moment later, the main door, the one that looks like a vault door, swings all the way open, and your mum sweeps in. There you are, she exclaims. I was afraid this would happen. You're in the wrong waiting room. Come on, she nods her head towards the elevator in the hall. What movie are we going to see, you ask? We're too late for the movies now, she says. I think we'll just go home and go to bed. Boring. See what happens when you have no sense of adventure? The end. So, we survived, and we found the mother. We didn't get to go to the movies, and it said that we've got no sense of adventure, and that we're boring. What? Again, not all the other ones in the bad endings did we die. Like sometimes we got trapped or turned into something or something like that. But it was very evident and clear when we hit a proper ending, right? As in, like, we got out, we escaped, or whatever the case may be. In this one, I mean, it didn't technically say we got out in the last one, but it just said that, you know, we just had to clean up the room and then that was it. This one, yeah, we found our mother, but we don't get to go to the movies now, but we still got out. But again, it said that we have no sense of adventure and we're boring. What? I'm very confused with this one. Wow. Wait, what? So, are we supposed to go with the monkey, but then complain? Yeah. How dare we be responsible and see our mum again? Because if we follow the chimp, we die. So, if we followed the chimp, we got into the room, and then I think there were two options there. There was the first option, which is to be like, oh yeah, we'll be a part of the experiment. Or there was one later on, I think. There were two, I think. There was the first one, and then there was like the second one. Are you sure? I think. Maybe. So that must be it. Like, no, we have an excuse. I don't remember. But that's our 3 lives. I don't think we've actually finished this one. I don't think that counts. Does it? The two where we survive and, like, sort of get out seem like... You know, I guess we've got to follow him, and then we have to back out. Like, yeah, we have to come up with the excuse, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Do 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 do. I mean, low key, that was the best ending. We find Mother and we go home. But the book calls us lame and we missed out going to the movies, yeah. But it is the best ending in terms of our survival and trauma. Yes. I mean, yes. I don't know if that counts as us winning. Because yeah, instead of this one having a thing and forcing us to go on a thing, we go through a thing and it just ends and being like, well, you're terrible. You're not very exciting, are you? I'm so confused by this one. Oh, I guess that's it though. We didn't die, but yeah. It doesn't count for the sense that we've barely made it in the book and doing the spooky thing. Yeah, I mean, Deadly Experiments of Dr. Eek. We didn't meet Dr. Eek. Like we didn't meet Dr. Eek, see the deadly experiments, and then escape. So I think that's sort of the yeah. I feel very dissatisfied so far with this one. Well, with our good endings. I think this one's got these neutral endings, which is what we've hit so far. 2 of them. Yeah. Anyway. Maybe they would test and stuff with this one. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is only the 4th one, but yeah, they definitely changed it from the first 3 at least, because it definitely feels different. And again, it didn't have with the first choice as all the others have always had of do we actually go and do the thing or do we back out? And then we back out, and it's like you can't back out because that's boring. Yeah, where's your sense of adventure? You've got to do it. Yeah. After doing 3 with a similar formula, be interesting then to see how the one after this one is though. But yeah, so I'm going to consider this one not finished, which means that we have to do another session, which is fine because everything's all set up here now and updated, so I should be able to come back easily next time. So yeah. Wow. Very dissatisfied thus far. This flippin' chimpanzee. All right, so we'll be back again for another one of it. When we do finish it though, and then when the thing is, so the one after this though, number 5 is Night in Werewolf Woods. This one, I'm excited for this one because that seems, I mean, monkey in lab coat and stuff, but with how the changes when this one were, I'm keen to see how this one goes. But that won't be for who knows when. We got to finish this one, so we will be back for this one, probably tomorrow morning. Because I actually did, like I said, is I woke up early enough for it to be early dark. But yeah, everything wanted to do its updates and everything like that, and so it's done. It's done. So yeah. Anyway. Under 2 hours stream. Yes. I mean, I think to be honest, like time wise, is that it's. I think some of the other reading ones went for about this time length. I think. I don't know. It feels a lot shorter. That one feels a lot shorter than the others, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, when will I be back and what will I be doing? Well, yes, no, right. Oof. I'll probably be back for reading tomorrow morning, early morning. So we're talking in like 12-ish hours from now. So we'll finish that off because it's at the point where, like, if I was to come back for Nikki, it'd be in like 6 or 7 hours, and then it would mean I wouldn't be able to get back in the morning, tomorrow early morning to get this. So there we go. That's fine. I can. Oh, I gotta fix up yeah, some things actually with Instagram and stuff like that finally, so I can do the things for the other thing. Yes. But yeah, with the Twitch what's it called things, um I got to I'll do the same thing with the what's called. Which, did I ever actually do that? I know I said that, but did I actually do it? I don't remember if I did. But anyone who has me in their Twitch recap can claim a free sticker. So yeah, yeah. So if they already have stickers, I've got to send them. I can get another one. Otherwise, they get a yes free sticker thingy for if I'm in their Twitch recap top whatever it is, top 5 thing. So yeah, you just got to post your what's called in the Discord. But I'll go through mine when I'm probably maybe out there back with Nikki, or maybe when Dimitri's here and we can go through his and mine, and we can see. Ooh, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, yes. Um. Do what? Oh yes. Well prepared to see my recap. Ooh. So yes, I won't be posting mine or anything because I'll do it on stream and then I'll might post the thing or something. Thank you very much for the hydrate. The Twitch recap can be like the news bit. Ah yes. Yes. But yeah, so like I said, you can do both. Um, the what's it called? Saturday. Saturday will be Dimitri versus the Souls, like game, and it will be Dimitri versus Prawny. That will be Saturday. Yes, mind you, that will be Saturday going into Sunday because it'll the stream will be almost 24-hours. So providing the things all fine, which it should be, yes, well, I'll have the discount stuff going because I believe I've still got like 2 of them left to do before the end of the year. So I'll do it for that one and I'll do it for the Pokemon one. Ooh. Just thinking because the Pokemon one is like, oh, with all the bad things and stuff. Well, wait, no, it's fine. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I've got the things so I can have them for those 2. Yeah, but yeah, so that will be this Saturday to Sunday. So that's Friday to Saturday for those playing at home. Most people, and then the Pokemon one will be most likely next Saturday, not this Saturday coming, but next Saturday most likely, which means next Wednesday, providing Dimitri's had his TV and everything. Next Wednesday, I still got to figure out. It might be the painting or something because that's what today was actually going to be. Today was actually going to be the painting. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Overnight stream and not rushing to meet 5 p.m. for once. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh. When will I be back? Well, yeah, well, I'll be back in like probably under 12 hours actually. Probably under 12 hours. Aiming for. Because it's 2 minutes to 5 p.m. So I'll be back around 4 a.m. slash 5 a.m. Yeah, to try this again. So it'll be dark and it'll be more atmospheric. I'm very tired still. It's been coolish today. Yeah. Anyway. Yes. And then so yes, tomorrow morning, Thursday. reading stream, but then I'll be back for Nikki tomorrow, like now-ish time, roughly, probably. I'll be back for Nikki then, because that's enough time for me to do the morning one, and then, so, yeah. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for, I guess I'll see you when I wake up, because I got to get up by a certain time. Ooh, yes. But thank you, everybody, for reading, thank you, everyone, for being here. Very much appreciate it. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the time happens to be for you. I don't have a Steam Deck here, so I got to plan this out with multiple things. Yes. Say hi to your mum for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hello, Gingerbread Salem. I see you have a banana that worked well.
threatening me. Well, ease up. Ease up? I mean, I find that quite inappropriate, Colourfully Woolly. You know, well, first of all, my middle pocket banana is not threatening. It's very thin, it's long, but it's soft. It's not threatening at all.